Thank you guys for taking some time out, come checking out this presentation about being a barber, all things in and outs of being the barber. My name is Johnny. I'm the owner of the Top Dog Barbershop.
I'm Gustavo. I'm the manager at Top Dog Barbershop.
And we're both excited to be here to present you guys. Has anyone been to a barber before? That's right. That's right, Everyone's experience for sure. So me and Gus have about 20 years experience put together. We've been working together for about 5 years now. So we know each other pretty well. And like I said, we're just excited that you guys are interested or have some interest in cutting hair, being a barber.
So the big thing about barbering is you don't need to go to college, but there is schooling for barbering, and that's about, well, it depends on how what approach you want to take. So there is apprenticeship that you could take. There's also a year course where it's full time, and you could basically, like, you're going to work, you're going to school to make your hours. How many are interested in barbering? How long have you been cutting hair? Or do you guys cut hair?
Like 2 months.
2 months? Okay.
The biggest thing you need to enter barber school is finishing up high school. All right. Once you finish up your high school, you can look into classes. They offer financial aid. It's like a traditional college. You could apply for financial aid. You could get some help, but typically it's about to be a year. Or when we went to barber school, we had to do about 1,500 hours to complete our schooling. Now I think the hours are about 1,000. So now the requirement's 1,000 hours to complete your barber license. After you finish up that license at 1,000 hours, you got to go take the test to get your license. And like Gustavo was saying, he actually got his license through an apprenticeship. Want to touch base on that a little bit?
So basically, I was working at a barbershop and getting my hours in at the same time. So I'd go to work every day, make up my hours, check in with the school, and let them know how many hours I did that day. So mine took about 2 years. So I wouldn't recommend it, but if you don't have the time on your hands, that'd be the best way to get your license. You do have to get a certified licensed barber to sign off on you. And there's a lot of different places that do it. I went to one in Downey. I know Anaheim has some, and local Fullerton that you could go and apply for the apprenticeship. Yeah, but that's a big part of starting as a barber. You need that license. A lot of shops nowadays, back then they used to do, you were able to cut without a license. Now it's
it's regulated.
Yeah, it's very regulated and rare that someone lets you cut at their barbershop without a license. Example, Johnny here, he makes sure every barber is licensed in the shop before providing a service. And once you start off as a barber, it's you're gonna have those slow days. You're gonna struggle to make money in the beginning. It's not all about, you go in, jump in, and you're making all this kind of money.
Just like anything, you got to first build up the skill of cutting hair. 2 months in, how is it? Is it easy? Oh, my bad. I got to admit you. My bad, dude.
Not really.
What would you say is like difficult about it?
Maybe doing like layers.
Layers, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's layers. That's like another level on top of just the fades, the tapers, and all that. But just to get tapers are real easy to do, right? But to get good at them is another story. You got to put in what it is repetition, right? You got to do it a lot. You got to build up your skill level before you start looking into getting to the next level, right? Starting off as a barber is pretty hard. No one wants to let you cut their hair, right? Everyone doesn't really trust you, but if you push on from that experience of it being hard to just keep doing it, not only to haircuts, this applies to anything in life, right? If you put some time into it every day, you'll get better at it eventually, you know. But if you think you're just gonna jump into it and be good, then
Probably not
Sorry to
happening.
break it to you. You know, it's not that. It doesn't go like that.
Yeah, I would say one of the most important things about barbering is building a relationship with your clientele. You see these people from once a week to twice a week to once a month, and it's. I always tell him you could find a good haircut anywhere. You could pay whatever you want for it, but at the end of the day, that person that comes to you every 2 weeks, every week is because they like you. One, two, your haircuts are good, but you build that relationship with them and you get to know them on a personal level. It's you get to know about their life, you get to know their background. Different. Every person that comes in your chair is a different story. They have a different career, they have different lives at home. You hear problems, you hear goals being achieved. You hear it all. So that's it's very important to connect with them at a personal level. Um, and that's how you get them hooked on to come, every week or every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it is.
And honestly, cutting hair is one portion of being a barber, right? The hardest part, like what Gustavo was saying, is building learning how to talk to people, learning how to be professional. Because as a barber, it's a profession. You gotta take yourself serious. You can't not take yourself serious and expect people to take you serious. So that's the biggest thing. Cutting hair is one part. Learning the business side of things is another part. So, like I said, right now, if you guys are interested, you can start learning how to do it, but also start learning all the all the back end of stuff. How much things cost, how much time you have to put into something, right? But but it's definitely a rewarding career. I can't I personally can't picture myself doing anything else. Gustavo,
Yeah,
oh, my bad.
very good. Yeah, like we are saying, like one of the most important things when you start off, you're gonna have those slow days, you're gonna have busy days, depending what week it is, or we still even have those days. Um, Biggest thing about working for yourself is also knowing how to manage your money. Johnny is very good at managing his money, and you are self-employed, so you don't you're gonna have to learn about how doing your taxes. You're gonna learn how manage your money on a daily basis, because we get paid on the daily basis.
Yeah.
We're not employees essentially, so we don't get a check. We don't get pay time off. We don't get sick hours. We don't. We're very on our own. So if it's barbering is something you want to get into, that's something you have to take into account of knowing how to set up a 401k for the future, or whatever it is. Planning for the future always.
Yeah, for sure. That's one biggest thing about being a barber is you are self-employed. If if you're not happy with how much you're making, it's your fault, right? You gotta be the one to promote yourself. You gotta be the one to cut hair. If you're not cutting hair as a barber, you're not making money. So if you're not busy, you gotta learn how to get busy. And to get busy, you gotta learn how to market yourself. To market yourself, you gotta do some research. You gotta put some time into that. You're not gonna be really good at marketing yourself at first, but you gotta take each step. Each step, you're gonna get to a higher level. But you're not gonna get to the higher level without taking those steps. And that's not just for being a barber cutting hair. That's for anything. But one biggest thing about being a barber or working at a barber shop is you gotta like your environment. If you don't like your environment, it's gonna be a drag getting to work. You know, if you don't like where you're working, your personality, your mood changes. So that's one biggest thing is if you get your license, you could leave any shop you want because you have your license. You could go to any shop because now you're official. If you got no license, you kind of have to you're sticking to a shop that would allow you to work there, right? So that's the power of having a license as a barber is you're official. You could go anywhere you want. You could take this career anywhere in the world, essentially. But biggest thing is environment. You don't want to be somewhere you don't like,
You want to
right?
surround yourself around good barbers. For experience, when I first started, I was at a shop where there was some good barbers, busy barbers, but there was also, you know, on the lower end barbers. And I believe I was in the middle tier, but it was just because I was surrounded by that type of environment, you know. And just like in life, you surround yourself with good people, you're gonna do good things. You know, you surround yourself around bad people, you're gonna do bad things. So my next barbershop that I went to, everyone was at a, you know, higher level, and I learned a lot from everyone. That's when he's saying you gotta surround yourself around good people. The good people are gonna, you know,
They're gonna
let
get
you
you to the
watch
next
them.
level. Yeah.
They're gonna let you watch them. They're gonna give you tips. They're gonna, you know, show you the ways, and they're gonna really expand your mind in the barbering life. You know,
Big thing too, just like in life, there you could always learn something. And any
true.
obstacle, what's like anything, any problem, there's a solution, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You got to find that solution, and you got to apply that to get out of the problem, right? So so you want to make sure you're applying yourself to do what you want, what you truly want in your life. You know, I know you guys are young. You guys have some time to think about what you want to do after high school, you know, but there's a lot more there's a lot more resources to you guys to find that out now. So take advantage.
Like, how many of you are planning to go to college? One, two, three.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How many of you plan to do like a trade or, you know, any other industry except college? You guys?
All right.
What steps are you gonna take after high school? I mean, yeah, after high school to get into that. You don't know yet. I think it's important. You know, me personally, after high school, I was a mechanic. I worked at Nissan, I worked at Toyota, and then for a little bit, I worked at Home Depot. So I have a lot of different experiences. I was getting my feet wet, you know, and I think it's important for you to know what you want to do, something that you're comfortable in, something you feel like you could strive in. You know, my experiences at being a mechanic, you know, the environment is very friendly, very outgoing. You know, when you're in the back, you're not in front of customers, and it's a lot of chit chat with your friends. You know, so I took that. Then I went to the customer side where I was dealing with customers straight on and really learning customer service. So I was cutting hair in high school, and I came back to that, and I implemented, you know, the environment of being in a barbershop is very friendly. You know, see these guys come in and get to work and hang out, listen to music, whatever it is. You know, get to know your clients. But then also you got to know how to keep it professional. You know, get your haircuts up to par so that the clients aren't, you know, upset. And you know, there is going to be upset clients. There is going to be, you know, bad days or whatever you want to call it. But also important in barbering is having the knowledge enough to know what your client wants. You know, a lot of people don't know how to ask for a haircut. So you got to really get down to detail and get it out of them what they want. I've had guys come in and he's like, I just want a haircut. All right, what kind of haircut? Oh, just a trim. Do you like it short on the sides? Do you like it long? You know, and so you got to really know how to get to the point where they're going to be satisfied with the haircut.
Yeah. So being an owner of a shop, it's before becoming an owner, it looks a lot more glamorous. You don't look at how much work you have to do, but it's a lot of work. You got to do. You got to have to make sure the shop's ready for the week. You got to learn how to market for every other barber. You got to make sure bills are paid. You know, it's a lot more time that's needed than I originally expected. But do I regret it? Never. You know, it's like I said, it's a very rewarding. It's it takes up a lot of my time, but it does make me feel good being able to offer a place of business where people can make some money at. You know what I mean? That's fulfilling in my end is like people could work at my establishment and make a living, you know? So that's what makes it worth it for me, honestly. And like I said, I would do it again, you know, if I could. Yeah.
I would say one of my favorite things about being a barber is not so much the cutting hair, but the building relationships with clients. You know,
Yeah.
I really enjoy that aspect of the job. And again, the money. The money is good, but you got to know how to manage the money. Also, you get a lot of free time, a lot of free time, and that could also get you in trouble. You know, if you're not behind the chair, if you're not at work, you're not making money. You know, if you are partying all the time and not getting into to work the next day, it could get you in trouble. You have that liberty as a barber because you are self-employed, but also that liberty is the one that's going to make you not become a good barber. You know,
100%.
we have any questions? What's
Yes.
up, dude?
What's the most common haircut you do?
Most common. So it depends. What age bracket are we talking about? You know.
For you guys,
So like your age brackets.
you guys know what an Edgar is?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what's trending. Your what size shirt are you, boss?
2X.
2X, perfect. Get this.
Yeah, a lot of kids are now into the puffy hair on top,
Yeah,
with the taper on the sides,
everyone
and the
loves the
back.
puffy hair.
But some people rock it, you know. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
The most common haircut.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, the hardest.
the hardest haircut.
honestly, that depends on the barber. I'll tell you, my hardest haircut, it's going to be a layered haircut. So a dude that comes in with his hair and he wants a slight trim, horrible
Here you
day
go,
for
boss.
me.
What was your name?
You know,
Camilo. Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for the question.
right here.
And then for the hardest haircut for me personally is like not necessarily because it's hard. It's just it takes a long time. Like a mid fade with a hard part lineup. They want texture on top. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So it's not hard, but it just takes a
You got to
while.
manage your time too.
Yeah,
with
that's the
every
thing.
client.
If you have appointments coming in, you got to manage your time. You got to finish your haircut in that time frame. If you start running late, now your whole day's late. You know, so you gotta make sure you're efficient cutting hair. So,
What was your question, dude? Oh, an old man haircut.
An
Simple,
old-
two on the sides, slick back. You know, it
Oh,
takes about
yeah.
15 minutes.
it's nice.
But the most, I would say
What was the question?
fair haircut.
Favorite haircut?
I would say like a 3 all around with the taper on the sides, skin taper on the sides and the back.
For me, my favorite haircut, like I said, a nice number 2 on the sides, maybe a little trim on top, and square it out. You know, just nice 15, 20-minute haircut, you know? Who asked that question?
Dude with curly hair.
What size shirt are you, boss? A large?
Him first, right? What's up?
My least.
My least fair haircut.
Here you go. What was your name?
Like Johnny was saying,
Pass that to Jaden,
a
please.
guy like this comes in, it's not a good day for me.
My boy Camilo, yeah. It's
Because I got 45 minutes to cut her hair, and that's going to take longer. So
because it's been what, like about 6-7 months.
right now, I'm no haircut.
There you go.
But I'm actually, I had a longer hair, so I trimmed it down a little bit. But
You guys know what a mullet is? This guy had a mullet for a while.
No,
Yeah, he did.
It was a little longer.
What size shirt? Medium.
What's your favorite clipper?
My favorite
Ooh,
clipper, dude,
favorite
is going to
clipper.
be a Wall Senior. You know what that is?
There you go, boss. What is your name?
Yeah, Wall
Joshua?
Senior.
Thank you, bro.
It's a brand that's been around for a long
Hey.
time. Now they have like the cordless ones, so it's very easy. The less bunch of wires you have in your station, the better. So that's my favorite clipper right now. Favorite clipper.
My favorite clipper definitely has to be like a magic clip, the purple burgundy ones, the wall magic clip, or the wall cordless senior.
So it's like your favorite clipper, like the best one you do?
Best one, it depends on the barber. I personally like the wall seniors, the wall magic clips, just because they're comfortable. I've been using them for a while. For
Yep.
clipper, and then for like a trimmer, my favorite is the Andis T-liner. That I can't get away from that. You know, it's good. Yeah. Shirt? Excel, yes sir.
What's up, dude? So that depends. You know, you could go to a shop where you're able to charge your own rate, but you also could go to a shop where they charge their own rate. So you have to, for example, at Johnny's shop, for appointments I charge my own rate, But if I take a client from that comes in as a walk-in, then I'll have to charge the shop rate. So it varies from 35 to 45 to 50 dollars, you know, an hour, 45 minutes.
The question was how much do you get with a license?
Yeah, like how much do you get paid for being licensing?
So you can charge by your demand, right? If you have a lot of people coming, that's where supply and demand comes. If you have too many people wanting a haircut with you, then you can start charging more. But if you don't have the demand, you don't want to have people wanting to get a haircut with you, then you can't charge $60 because you got no clients. But if you start off at 30 and get booked until you got to start charging 40, and then you got to keep climbing that ladder.
Like I was cutting hair for free in high school.
Yeah.
You know? And I was learning off of YouTube. So you gotta start somewhere, you know. And then my senior year, I started charging $5 a haircut. And when what is it called, prom came, I had a garage full of kids. You know, it was $5 each kid. So yeah, you gotta know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know yourself. You know what you're worth. So always go by what you think you're worth.
Yeah.
You know. What size were you? Oh, you already got a shirt, right?
Yeah. How much do you guys charge
For what? For booth rent. So that depends on every shop you go to, right? So right now, my highest booth rent I was paying was about $350 a week. I charge at my barbershop $200 a week, and like I said, you gotta climb the ladders. As a business owner, I can't start off charging premium pricing for booth rent when I don't got the demand of barbers, you know? So it's all supply and demand. You gotta work your way up, but some places is booth rent and some places is commission. That's another thing too. Is you could probably, you guys know what like Fantastic Sam's is, or like Supercuts. They get paid hourly, so they're like an employee. If you find a shop that charges you commission, there's a split, so it's like a 70%, 30%. You keep 70, the shop keeps 30. So if you're charging $10 a haircut, you'll keep 7, and then you'll pay the shop $3, and that's for every haircut. So that's the difference between commission and booth rent and being an employee. What size shirt were you, boss? Medium.
Did you guys mention how long you guys had to go to school to get certified? Or?
Yes. So we talked about there's 3 different options where you could go to a traditional barber school. It takes about a year. It takes about a year or until you finish. Now the criteria is 1,000 hours. When I was going to school, it was about 1,500. Yep. And then there's other ways of getting your license. You could apprenticeship under a licensed barber that's going to help you get your license. That process takes about 2 years, but the benefit is you're able to work while you're getting your license. That's the main thing.
All right, so we're gonna ask 2 last questions, and that's for a hat. If you get it right, you get a hat. All right. First question is, how many hours does it take to complete barber school? I saw your hand go up first. Was that?
1,000.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Camilo. There it is.
All right, it's a little harder one. How long have me and Johnny known each other? Let's let him go first.
5 years?
Yeah.
Dang, all right. There it is. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll do one more.
One more.
What is one of the most important things about barbering?
Building a relationship with people.
Dang, boy, got it. Yes, sir. Jaden, right? Can you pass that to Jaden, please?
We're good, yeah. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys very much for coming out.